Welcome to my channel, Pachehra Talks. My name is Arun, and I'm working as a solutions architect with Rackspace Technologies, which is one of the best organization to work with. And this is my channel, and these are my views. And today we are here with some updates which are generally available and we should be aware of because we talk to the customer all the time regarding the architecture, and you don't want to be in an awkward situation where customer knows and you don't. New updates. And these updates also help you to design, because a lot of times we think these things are not available or in preview, right? So let's get started. So the very first update right here is audit log for continuous mode with Azure Cosmos DB. Well, we have covered Cosmos DB in pretty detail. There is a huge playlist in our channel, almost 18 to 20 videos. If you have seen that, so you'll be aware they are like two modes of the backup. So here we are talking about only the continuous mode. So audit log for continuous mode with Cosmos DB allows you to view your details of restore action on source account and destination account. So what are the keywords here? First, continuous mode. Second, restore actions. So it allows you to see the restore progress in activity log. Yes, in activity log, in terms of which database and containers were restored for the given account. So why I was emphasizing an activity log? Because you need not to go ahead and enable any diagnostic, any special diagnostic log. So that's the update. Now, if you're wondering what is the other mode of backup, well, it's periodic backup mode. Continuous, as the name says, it's a continuous. That also comes in two tiers. One which has like 7-day retention, and the other one which has 30-day retention. So continuous backup is continuous, and it allows you to restore at any point of time within either 7 or 30 days, right? But periodic backup mode, it's a default mode for sure for all existing accounts, because you cannot change it later. If you have chose or did not choose continuous at the first, default periodic would get selected and you cannot change later. And it's a periodic interval. You cannot simply go ahead and do restore just like in continuous. All right, so let's go to the second AKS. You might have seen this doing me a lot when I was doing the AKS series, if you are following the AKS series. But at that point of time, this feature was in preview. But now it is generally available. Anyways, let's try and understand this feature. The AKS node pool start stop feature allows you to completely stop specific user node pool. That's the keyword here. User node pool. This start and stop is applicable only for the user node pool. And you can pick that up later where you left off with a switch of a button, saving time and cost. Right? So previously you had to either scale a user node pool and all its workloads down to 0 in order to save cost, or keep it running with a low footprint to avoid a redeployment, adding to operation time and wasting of compute resources. These were some side effects if we think from that perspective. But now you have this feature and you can utilize it if it is needed. If nothing is running and you want to stop it, for example, development clusters and there is no developer around, right? And how do we do that in CLI? It's simple. AKS node pool stop, and then -- node pool name and resource group cluster information. And it is not applicable for the system pool, and we all know why, right? If you don't, do check the AKS playlist. All right, let's go to another one. FIPS compliant for Windows in AKS. Now, FIPS, we are talking FIPS here, so I'm pretty sure if you can relate or understand, or if you are hearing it second time, the first time you heard it during the Key Vault. Yes, that's correct. Azure Key Vault. So what is FIPS? FIPS is Federal Information Processing Standard, and it's a US government standard that defines minimum security requirement for cryptographic modules in information technology products and systems like HSM we had. Now, AKS allows you to create Linux and Windows node pool with FIPS 142 enabled. Deployment running on FIPS enabled node pool can use those cryptographic modules to provide increased security and help meet security controls as a part of FIDRAM compliance. So this feature is not for like all the VMs everywhere, but if you have the workload which supposed to be compliant with the FIPS, then you have to go ahead and choose or enable FIPS on your nodes. Earlier it was now applicable for the Windows as well. So that's the keyword here. Okay. Another one is Azure App Service Environment version 3 now supports custom domain suffix. Yes. Now, custom domain suffix, if you're wondering like what it is, so let me try explain. Apps are not restricted by the DNS settings of your Azure service environment. Because whenever we create app service environment, let me try to give an example that this will help. Because custom domain suffix defines a root domain that can be used by the app service environment. And let's try to relate it with the public. In the public variation of Azure App Services, the default root domain for all web apps is azurewebsite.net, right? We all know that, right? That's a public one. But here we are talking about internal for internal app service environment. So, and we have internal load balancer to do that, right? So for ILB app service environments, the default root domain is appserviceenvironment.net, right? Public is Azure website, and app service environment internal is appserviceenvironment.net. However, since an ILB app service environment is internal to the customer's virtual network or your virtual network, customer can use a root domain in addition to the default one that makes sense for use within a company internal virtual network, right? Let me give you an example. You're talking Microsoft, so let's take the Contoso as a hypothetical example. So Contoso Corporation might use a default root domain of internalcontoso.com for apps that are intended to only be resolved and accessible within Contoso's virtual network. An app in this virtual network could be reached by accessing app name and then internalcontoso.com, right? You need not to go with that Azure website for the public and the app service environment for private. So not with the app service environment, but app name dot internalcontoso.com, your domain suffix. And the important thing is it only works for this, not for the SCM. You know, for SCM, again, it would be app name dot SCM, just like usual way, then dot ASC name dot appserviceenvironment.net. That's how they would be. Now, another one is very interesting update. Azure Monitor metrics alerts with dynamic threshold detection. We all know it leverages advanced machine learning to learn metrics, historical behavior, and identify patterns and anomalies that indicate possible service issues. Automatic outage detection, it wasn't there earlier, but now it is there. So it can improve the threshold training after service issues are detected. Because, you know, if there's an outage, the average would always come less, right? But if we can remove the data, like in numerator and denominator, same logic, simple mathematics. So previously, after long service issues were detected, threshold could have been affected for a long period of time. The new capability automatically recognizes outages and removes them from threshold training. The results are much better thresholds and fit the data and can detect service issues with with the same sensitivity as before the outages. Cool. So dynamic threshold with outage detection. Now, Azure Firewall got one more GA update, which is this belongs to Azure Firewall Premium SKU. So keyword is premium here. So, and we all know it is a managed service, cloud-based network security service that protects your virtual network resources. It provides advanced threat protection that meets the needs of highly sensitive and regulated environments and includes IPs, TLS inspection capabilities, etc., etc. But what is the update here? Now, because ICSA is an International Computer Security Association authorized by the US federal government, right? And ICA labs provide credible third-party testing and certification of security. And now, earlier it has already given a lot of certification to the Azure Firewall, but this time they are giving it for IPs, intrusion prevention system. So it's good. It's really nice. Because it is always a discussion when we talk about firewall in Azure, whether to go with the Azure firewall or NVAs. So they are making it their firewall in a good competition with the NVAs, and it is managed. Now, the last update here is reservation administrator and reader role in Azure portal. I think you can easily understand this. These are the RBAC roles, and no need to provide more access than needed. We need to follow least privilege principle, and these are new roles for reservation. All right, well, these all are the generally available updates, and we'll meet in another video with some interesting updates. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.